Part of what makes React so powerful is how you can use state in your application. However, state is often overused and can lead to sluggish and ineffective web apps. I want to show you an example of an application where you might be inclined to use React state, why you shouldn't, and what you should be doing instead. So to demonstrate what I'm talking about with React state, I have this fake application that I've just built, which mimics an iPhone store. So you might go to this app, you might select your iPhone product, your color, and your storage, and then checkout. So we'll have a look here on the left. I have the different products. So you can see the URL up here is /products. So if I select the 14 Pro, you can see here that this then populates with iPhone 14 Pro. I'm going to select a color. I'm going to say deep purple. Comes up here with deep purple. And I'm going to select storage. And then from here, I might check out, right? So what happens if I want to, maybe I'm buying this for somebody or somebody wants to buy a gift for me. And they say, can you tell me which one you want? You could go to the website and you could say, I want to copy the URL here. Oh, no, actually, I can't. Maybe I will just describe what I want. Okay. Or if you're on the website and you lose connection and it refreshes, suddenly you've lost everything. So again, you have to select iPhone Pro, iPhone 14 Pro, deep purple, 256 gigabytes, right? Well, let's have a look at the code. So you can see here, I have this, my main, so this is where my routes are, and I just have a route path of products where I'm running the products component. And in here I have selected product, selected color, and storage. So I'm storing everything in state here. So I've got a list of products, I'm mapping over those products, and on click, I select the product. Then on click of the color, I select the color in state. And on click of storage, I select my storage capacity. Well, a more effective way to actually store this information is in the URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to refactor this component a little bit so that it uses the URL and search params. So the first thing I want to do is, instead of importing use state here, I'm just going to delete this altogether because I don't want any more state. And I'm going to delete all of this stuff here. And I'm going to import use params. I'm going to import use search params. And I'm going to import link from React router DOM. Okay, so I'm going to keep these here as they are, these products. And the first thing I want to do is get the product ID from use params. Now I haven't set that up yet, so we'll go into main and we'll refactor this a little bit. So this route currently just takes a path of products and it renders the products element instead. I can open this up, and inside of this products path, I can render a component, the same component, products, but I'm taking a product ID path here. So this is an optional param passing in. So that would be products / product ID. And what that's going to do is render the same component, and that's going to give me a product ID. So from there, I can take the product ID and I can find the selected product. So I'm going to say selected product equals products, find, and I say product.id equals product ID. So that's going to give me the selected product. So I'll save that. Now, the next thing we need to do is handle actually selecting the product. So inside of this list item, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select product name, and I'm going to use Command-Shift-P to open the command palette, and I'm going to select wrap with abbreviation. And inside of here, I'm going to wrap the product name in a link component. And that link component is going to go to equals products / and product.id. So we're going to take the product ID and we're going to navigate to product / product ID. And we don't need this on click anymore, so we can delete that. Just create some variables here so I can run the application and we can demonstrate where we've gotten so far. What else are we missing? We will delete the onClick from here because we know we're not going to need that. And we can delete the onClick from here as well and save that. And let's save the new route. And what are we missing here? We need to delete this. So I go into the application. Now you can see we've got some links on the left, and we can click on iPhone 14 and there we get product ID in the URL of 1. Click on 14 Pro, product ID there, and 14 Pro Max. But we're not getting the product details, and we should be because we have selected product here. And I think the problem here is these need to be strings because the URL params will be a string. So if I save that, and there you go. So you've got the selected product based on that ID. So iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, and 14 Pro Max. So the next thing we need to do is work out the colors and the storage. Now these I don't want to be URL params the same way as an ID. You always need the ID first, but we don't know whether we're going to have the color first or the storage first, and it doesn't really matter. So we want these to be search params. And search params can be set in any order. So for search params, what we're going to do is we're going to use this hook from React Router DOM, and we're going to get an array from that, and we'll say search params and set search params equals use search params. And what I'm going to do is create a function here called select product detail, and that takes two arguments. I'm going to say type and value, and type refers to either the color or the storage. And inside of that, I'm going to say search params dot set. I'm going to set the type and then the value, and then we're going to set the search params to search params. So what we're doing here is we're updating the existing search params, and then here we're setting the search params themselves with the new values. So this particular line will not update the URL. It's only when we actually set search params here that we update the URL. And so we can go down here now and we can add back in some onClicks. So we'll say onClick equals, and give it a function and say select product detail, and we're going to pass in C. So we'll just use C in the params for color, and we'll say C, which is our selected color. So we've mapped over the colors array here, and we're just using C for color. So we're passing in the string C, and we're going to set that to this value. And I'll just copy this, come back down here to storage, and down here, we're going to use S for storage. And again, you see we have the S key when we've mapped over a storage array. So we're going to pass the value of S. So now, if we refresh, I can select iPhone 14, and I select space black. And you can see here now that I have a search param in the URL. So that starts with a question mark, and then you say C, which we've used as the key for color, equals space black. And I can select deep purple, gold, and silver. So again, these aren't marking as selected, so let's fix that up. So instead of selected color and storage, we can delete those, and we will, underneath selected product, we can say const selected color equals search params dot get C. So we're getting the value of C, which is the key that we've passed into the URL. And then the same for storage equals search params dot get S. So that will return the value that's assigned to S in the search params. So we'll save that and we'll have a look down here. So we have selected color, storage, and then we do have some CSS. We've added a class name of selected if the selected color matches the actual color, and the same for storage. So we should see now, there you go. You can see already now that silver, because it's in the URL params, has been updated to be underlined. So now up here we see iPhone 14 silver, and if we select a storage, we can see 1 terabyte that is selected, and that's here in the URL params. So now if I copy this, go into another tab, paste it in, I get exactly the same result. So that persists the actual values that I've selected. If I refresh, it persists. So, and you know, obviously you can update and it resets everything. It resets the params because it's a different, well, it resets the search params because it's a different product ID. So we can then select a different product and again, select different colors and storage. Obviously, you cannot fully replace state with URL params, nor would you want to. But as you can see from this example, there are scenarios where using the URL to manage your state is easier and more effective than using React state. Another common example of this might be sorting a table. You can store the sort direction and sort column as search params in the URL and ensure that your API fetches the sorted data and updates your table. So that's it for now. If you found this useful, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.